Hey everyone, my name's Kevin Hanlon. I go by Skyburial on Megabridge and Twitter. And we're gonna go ahead and get started on episode 2 of Spire to the Sky, which is my VGC laddering series on BattleSpot. And I went ahead and reset our ranking. The reason why I reset my ranking is that I got started on episode 2 and had an unfortunate disconnect because I wasn't looking at my my power level on my 2DS, because I typically try to look at like my screen here while I'm playing, and my 2DS died. So I figured I'd cut my losses and get started fresh, since I typically don't like low ladder. It looks like our friend here, Rakib, is running a team that's reminiscent of Aaron Zeng's, but with a Gyarados and a Hariyama. Typically what I like to run against Trick Room involves my Gastrodon and my Gigalith pretty heavily. I'm thinking of leading with... So he's probably gonna lead with his... I think I'm just gonna lead Sand. I'm gonna put Gastrodon in the back, and I kinda like... I like Kartana against most of this team, except for the Hariyama. And Arcanine looks good too. I could lead. I could go with Double Dog. Tapu Koko doesn't look too great against anything but the Gyarados. I think I'm actually gonna bring Tapu Koko. Yeah, this could be weird. But we're gonna go with it. Let's see. Let's see what happens. Let's see. There's nothing wrong in seeing, right? So good luck to Rakib. I really like your character. Yeah, looking great. Very fresh. The thigh-high socks are always very fresh. So, what can I do here? I think I want to explode. No. I think I will Stone Edge the Oranguru and switch out into my Gastrodon. Because I want to have Gigalith and Gastrodon in Trick Room. And my opponent didn't really have any good grass options, which is great for me because my Gastrodon actually does a good bit of damage against most things. So, yeah. That feels like a good option. I think that he fakes out my Lycanroc. But we will see. Alright, so he does fake out my Lycanroc, and I get a Stone Edge off against this Oranguru, which is really good. And we get to take it out with a critical hit because there's a raised chance of criticals with that stuff. With Stone Edge. So, I think he brings in his Torkoal here. He brings in his Tapu Bulu. So in this situation, I'm actually really, really glad that I brought my Tapu Koko. So I think I will go for a heavy slam on Tapu Bulu. And I will switch in my Tapu Koko to take away its grassy terrain. If he doubles into my Gigalith, then that's fine. That's fine, yeah. It's totally fine if he doubles into my Gigalith. Alright, so he goes for a Horn Leech on my Tapu Koko and a knockoff on my Gigalith. And I'm gonna get a heavy slam off against this Tapu Bulu, which very well might take it out. And it looks like it doesn't quite take it out, but my opponent doesn't have Wide Guard, I don't think. And so I can just go for a Dazzling Gleam on this next turn. And I think that's what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna go ahead and bring in my Lycanroc. I don't really miss my Assault Vest, because it doesn't really matter against his physical attackers. So we're gonna bring in Lycanroc here. I'm really just preserving Gigalith for the weather at this point, and I'm gonna go for a Dazzling Gleam. I'm still gonna outspeed his Torkoal outside of the sand. He doesn't really have any... Okay, yeah. So we're gonna get a Dazzling Gleam off, and this Hariyama doesn't have an Assault Vest, so hopefully it goes down to this Dazzling Gleam. It doesn't, but that's fine. Let's see what it goes for. Alright, so it goes for a Rock Slide, and that's also okay. My Lycanroc lives that. It does get a crit though, which is unfortunate. I think on this next turn... Yeah, I think Hariyama's gonna go down to its own burn. If not, like, it's just waiting to die. Hopefully it goes down to its own burn though. It doesn't. Alright. And that's fine. It might faint my Lycanroc. I think what I'm gonna do here... Right, so what my opponent could do is, like, switch in his Gyarados, possibly, or his Torkoal, and go for a, like, an attack into my Lycanroc. I'm gonna bank on my Rock Slide hitting both opponents, and I'm gonna Stone Edge whatever. Because Tapu Bulu is just protected. So, if he wants to get his terrain up, he has to withdraw. Yeah, probably into... Oh, he goes into Drampa. Okay. So we're gonna get a Rock Slide off, and we missed the Drampa, which is unfortunate. But it's okay because we have... Yeah, so we connect with our Stone Edge, which is really good. So... Our opponent has to pick something to hit, and he's got two really slow Pokemon in against two things that are going to be boosted by Sand. I guess the worst situation I could face here is... I definitely can't go for an Earthquake. I have a hard time coming up with a way to choke. I think I'm gonna Rock Slide here. And I'm going to Heavy Slam. Because I'm confident in my Gastrodon's ability to hit whatever it can when it comes in. So... Alright, so my opponent forfeits, which is really good. So we actually come out in the positive on our first battle, which is great. Yeah. Love this team. Wow, so good. Courtesy of Michael Flading, also known as Primitive. He and Lee, who is known as Rain Dance King, built this team, and I've been enjoying the shit out of it. So we're gonna go ahead and hop into the next battle. Let's see who we get matched up against. Bit of a better start for episode 2, I'd say. And we get matched up against Dragon Zen. And let's see what Dragon Zen's got. It looks like he has a fairly standard team. The only thing I'm not used to seeing very much is the Talon Flame, and I'm not too worried about it. The Kartana is probably the most threatening thing to my team, and so that makes me want to go Gigalith Arcanine. The thing that could really bite me in the ass about this is if he leads with his Melodic, and so that makes me want to put Gastrodon in the back. And I think that I really like Kartana for his Tapu Lele. And it can also hit most of the things on his team barring... Well, it can hit the things on his team that I can't take care of with the rest of the things that I'm bringing, which happen to be Gigalith and Arcanine. Like, the things that I can't hit with Gigalith and Arcanine, I can hit with Kartana, and that makes me want to bring it. The only reason I'd bring something else is if I wanted to bring Tapu Koko for his, like, to reset the terrain for his team, but he doesn't really have anything that benefits from electric terrain, or from psychic terrain, other than his Tapu Lele itself, and I don't really need to nullify it because I've got so many answers to it, so I'm just gonna bring Kartana. And, yeah, good luck to my opponent. I can see the Crocodile being a problem if it's like a Scarf Crocodile with a fire type. I don't know what I'm coming up with here. Yeah, I feel confident. Alright, so we get to lead with our Gigalith and our dog, and Crocodile and Tapu Lele come out from my opponent, which is fine. We're gonna see some frame drops, or a little bit of lag, I guess, and that's because we're playing on a 2DS. We have a special Arcanine, so we don't mind the Intimidate, and we get an Intimidate off of our own. I think on this first turn, what I'm going to do is Heavy Slam this Tapu Lele. I'm banking on my opponent not necessarily knowing what Gigalith does, because it's still a pretty fresh Pokemon. So, as soon as we get a chance here, I'm gonna go ahead and go for this Heavy Slam, and I'm gonna go ahead and Will-O-Wisp this Crocodile, on the off chance that it doesn't, like... I'm just gonna Will-O-Wisp it. I think that it's gonna go for a Rock Slide, and I'm hoping that it doesn't flinch my Arcanine. Actually, it'll probably go for an Earthquake, and I'll still get to Will-O-Wisp it, so... Oh, so the Crocodile protects, and that's also fine, because I've got two really well-positioned Pokemon here. Tapu Lele goes for a Psychic against our Gigalith, and you'll see that we actually take that really well, and get a good bit of damage off against this Tapu Lele. I think that is in Heat Wave range if I'm not wrong, so I'm gonna go ahead and Heavy Slam the Crocodile, and I'll go for a Heat Wave. So we know that the Crocodile is Life Orb or something of that nature, so it was good that we doubled into it this turn. He does go for an Earthquake and protects his Tapu Lele from his own Earthquake, and that's fine. I think our Gigalith should be okay. Yeah, it is. So, the Heat Wave hopefully doesn't miss. Alright, the Heat Wave doesn't miss, and the Heavy Slam won't miss. So, that's good. That's really good. We found out that our Arcanine is slower. So, I don't really have a good switch, so I'm thinking of just exploding on this turn. And I'll go for another Heat Wave. Okay, so he withdraws his Tapu Lele into his Melodic. And he Earthquakes his own Melodic, which is actually okay for us. We're probably gonna go down. Yeah. Oh, our Gigalith lives. Okay. And so we get this explosion off, which is gonna be pretty saucy. Yeah. And yeah, it does take out our opponent's Crocodile, so that puts us in an amazing position because this Tapu Lele is obviously not Scarf. And it looks like the Citrus Berry gets procced on this Melodic, which is fine. Because we've got a Gastrodon and we've got a Kartana. And yeah, fearless. My opponent's answer to my Kartana is Scald on his Melodic because he wants to burn it. Okay, so the Kartana actually might be a bit of a problem. So he's gonna obviously Leaf Blade my Gastrodon. This actually might be a bit problematic. So on this first turn, I think I am going to... Shit. I didn't think about this scenario. I want to be able to hit his... I'm gonna go for a Mud Bomb. I think it hits everything on my opponent's team in the event that he doesn't Leaf Blade my Gastrodon, which he will. So, yeah, so he goes for a Leaf Blade. And he's probably gonna burn my Kartana in all honesty. Because that's just my luck. So he goes for an Ice Beam. And that does a good bit of damage, and I think this game is lost. So I'm gonna go ahead and forfeit. I can't come back from this 3-on-1. So we're gonna go ahead and take the forfeit, and I think I have enough time for a third battle, so we'll go for that. Yeah, why not? Good game, Dragon's Den. Yeah, I really enjoyed that. Even the losses in VGC 2017 aren't that bad, you know? So we're gonna keep going. And Battle Spot's a little rougher than I was expecting. So I'm actually really enjoying the challenge so far. Alright, and our opponent has a Hard Sun team, so I'm definitely gonna lead with Hard Sand. I don't really see a problem with this because the things that check my Sand on his team are like, if he wins the speed tie and his Gyarados, which I'm still good against with this. I'll go ahead and put Tapu Koko in the back. And Kartana. Yeah, so if he brings his Alola then I'm gonna need both of my Sand things to beat it. So I will probably sack my Kartana if he has his Alolan Marowak. But we're gonna go for it. Because Gigalith beats Tapu Lele in a vacuum. So you saw how much that psychic damage did. It was kind of pathetic. And that's one of the strongest special attacks in the game. So, love that Gigalith. Very fat. Let's see what my opponent leads with. Alright, so he goes with Torkoal and Lilligant, so let's see how these speeds pan out. I want to see Sun go up. It does go up. That means that we win this speed tie. That's so good. Oh my gosh. That means that we can freely go for a Stone Edge on this Torkoal and a Fire Fang on the Lilligant. And I feel excellent about that, so we're gonna go for it. Yeah. If he protects his Lilligant or switches into anything, then they're taking a Fire Fang with a chance of burn. So, alright, so he withdraws his Lilligant, so that's good. We can just go for a Rock Slide next turn, or a Z Rock Slide onto this Gyarados. And this Torkoal is going to take a Stone Edge. Alright, and he withdraws Torkoal as well into Tapu Lele. So, trying to preserve his weather. Which is fine, because our Lycanroc is... oh man, I really want to see a burn here. Show me a burn. No burn. But we do connect with our Stone Edge, so we get a bit of damage off on this Tapu Lele. I think that my best play here is to switch out my Gigalith into Kartana, into Tapu Koko, into Tapu Koko, and I'm gonna go ahead and go for a Z Rock Slide against this Gyarados. If it oh, so he withdraws his Gyarados, hopefully in a Torkoal. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be amazing. Yes. So we take away his Psychic Terrain, and that's awesome, because this Psychic isn't going to be doing as much. And hopefully we get to take out his Torkoal. I don't foresee it living a Z Rock Slide. Yeah, I guess we're about to find out a calc. So, it all comes down to this. And this is the pivotal turn, right? Because we get to take it. Okay, so it doesn't die, which is a bummer. And he goes for a Psychic onto our Lycanroc, and it doesn't get the kill. So we're gonna go for a Discharge on this turn and protect our Lycanroc. And he doesn't have anything that can switch in on this. Yeah, I mean, I guess he could switch in his Lilligant, and then I'm just gonna switch in my Gigalith next turn and take away his Eruption boost. And the Torkoal is not going to be doing as much damage now that I've done that much to it. So Eruption's not as threatening, and Heat Wave's not going to be as threatening out of the sun. I still feel like I'm on my front foot here. So... excellent. So probably switching out into Lilligant? Yeah. And I imagine that he's going to protect his Torkoal. Yeah. Yeah, so his Torkoal does go for a Protect. What I really want to see here is a Discharge Paralyze onto Lilligant, but it's not that bulky. So, yeah. Show me a Paralysis. Okay, so it doesn't get paralyzed. But we did a good bit of damage against Lilligant. I'm going to go ahead and protect my Tapu Koko and switch into Gigalith. We've actually racked up a great bit of damage against his team, so it's my game to lose at this point. And it's hard. If he's running like the standard set of like After You and Sleep Powder, etc. on his Lilligant, then yeah, it's hard to lose here. So he goes for a Z something. Is it like a Z Giga Drain? Yeah, it's a Z Grass move on something. On what? On my Tapu Koko. Okay, so I protected against that. So yeah, awesome. So we're in a good spot. And he Heat Waves, and hopefully it doesn't burn. And it burns. Okay. Which is fine. Like, it's not what I want to see, but it's fine. So I think what I do here... What have I got in the back? I've got my Kartana, which is in a great position. I'm going to Dazzling Gleam, and I'm going to Stone Edge the Lilligant. Yep. Seems right. Alright, so he switches out the Torkoal into Gyarados. I think he's gonna try to take out my Tapu Koko this turn. But my Gigalith is gonna take out his Lilligant. Yeah. As long as this Stone Edge connects. And it does. So, yeah, awesome. This is actually really, really great for us. Because now we can just start discharging. And my opponent has a Citrus Berry, which means it doesn't have Scarf. So he can't pull all that shenanigans against us that Thatsa did. Which is actually really great. Well, once again, applause to Thatsa. Scarf Gyarados is cool. So Torkoal comes in, and I think at this point that the thing that I want to sack is... Well, he's weakened by his own son, right? So I think I'm just going to discharge here. I'm the fastest thing on the field. And I'm gonna I'm gonna Stone Edge the Gyarados in the event that he does something zany. His Gyarados goes for a Protect, so we're gonna take out our own Gigalith, but we're also going to take out this Torkoal theoretically. I can't think of a Torkoal that would live. Yeah. So we take out that Torkoal, and that's cool. And that means that that we can just bring in our Kartana. And I think on this next turn we just go for a Smart Strike and a Thunderbolt. And it wasn't a Scarf Tapu Lele. Is it a Psychic Seed Gyarados? It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter if it's a Psychic Seed Gyarados. I'm gonna go for a Thunderbolt on the Gyarados, and I'm gonna go for a Smart Strike on the Tapu Lele. Yep, and so it looks like we're gonna take this one, which is awesome. Yeah, good game to my opponents. Wow. Beautiful. Yeah, so the reason why I love this team is because Sun is so popular right now, and it honestly outpaces Sun. Now you know why I love Sand. Thank you, Aaron Zhang, for making Sun so popular. Yeah, I have a spotless record against Sun teams, so bring me your Sun teams. I will beat them. And that's gonna be our episode. Thanks everyone for watching. Please subscribe if you're new to the channel. Please leave a comment regardless of whether you're new to the channel. And let me know what you think of Lycanroc. Let me know what you think of the new things. Let me know what you think of the old things. I love Pokemon Sun. I hope you do too. And thanks for watching Spire to the Sky. Please stay tuned.